Welcome back, family, to Unto Re, a new me, episode 14, Accountable B. And as always, we must start by honoring our ancestors. So today's quote comes from Tracy Ellis Ross, and it says, I am learning every day to allow the space between where I am and where I want to be to inspire me and not terrify me. And I think that quote really stands out to me because I recognize that fear is an emotion that dominates my life. So I think that it's important to focus on inspiration and the outcome of my actions rather than the actual feeling of fear that I have that is trying to block me from completing the action. So I think that's really why this quote stands out to me. And I love Tracy. Like, I really do. Like, Diana Ross for a mama. Come on. Um, Quick plug, follow my blog, Unlearn to Relearn.us. Check out my book, Sometimes I Cry, available on the blog or on Amazon Kindle. Then moving on to how I'm feeling. I am feeling heavy. Like, I've been doing a lot of reflecting, like I've been telling y'all, and just doing, the emotional work necessary to get myself together. It's like, girl, it's too much. So, like, throughout the day, I just be like, dang, something else, another feeling, another emotion, something else I wasn't thinking about coming up. Like, it's so much, but I really think it's worth it because in the end, I realized, like, it's all with a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Getting through and over these things right now is going to help me in the future. So I ain't too mad. And hopefully it's helping y'all because that's really the whole point. Collective healing. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that we all come out on top. Like, one of us can't be happy if all of us ain't happy. You know what I'm saying? As far as daily self-care I got everything done today. I think that my call folks today was all business related. Like, every call I made today was business related, even with my folks. So, like, that wasn't really the best. But I did talk to my peoples today, so I guess it counts. For self-care questions today, the first question is, what's the greatest lesson that you've learned in life and why? And I think it's important to ask this question to ourselves because it allows us to reflect on all of the many lessons that we've learned. Like, dang, I went through that, but I did learn this from that. And thinking about the greatest lesson is important because it allows us to realize what we're passing on, like what we're representing in the things that we do. Like, I've been reading The Will to Change by Bell Hooks, and it's talking about, patriarchy and males and females who represent and like walk in patriarchy. And it's really just like a lot of the lessons that patriarchy teaches, we embody and we act out without even thinking about it. So I think it's super important for us to realize why we do the things we do. And I think this question is a great question to kind of pull that out. The next question is, what do you lie to yourself about and why? And I think this question came from the last one because it's just like, I tell myself I do this because dot dot dot. But in reality, I've been pretty much trained by everything in life to do this, and I think this one for me today really came down to me and TV. Like, I will be like, I'm gonna just watch one more episode. You know what I'm saying? Or, okay, this go off right at 11. I should be able to, you know what I'm saying, calm down and be asleep by 11:30. It's just like, who you fooling? You know yourself. You've been in this situation before. You in this situation every night. Get it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, do better. And like the reality or the real part of the question is always why. Why do I allow myself to stay up at night knowing that it's going to irritate me in the morning when I got to get up early? Like, what is the why? So I think that's super important to think about, and definitely share your answers. I'm super interested in hearing, like, what are people finding out and what are people discovering in this time? Like, are these questions helpful? Because they have been for me, and I'm feeling some type of way. So if you're feeling some type of way, reach out, let me know. I'm here. We could talk about it. We could be sad together or happy. Look at the positive. I talked with Spirit today, y'all, and I got some interesting cards. So today I got the Knight of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. So for the Knight of Cups, this card represents the combination of spirit and soul, and I think we have definitely gotten this one before. But what stood out to me from the reading was it's time to move into the unknown, even if there are the idea scares you. So it's time to move into the unknown, even if the idea scares you. And I think that really stood out to me because, of course, y'all have been talking about fear and how it's a big block in my life. And also about being open and not having so much control. So I think this really resonates. The question I had for Spirit today, I actually don't remember. I think it was something around like, what are like the biggest challenges? Like, what are my biggest challenges? The next one was the Ten of Cups, and I actually got this one upside down, but the Ten of Cups card represents belonging. And what stood out to me from the reading was nothing material matters. Just the external happiness that has been earned through trial and obstacles. And I think that is super important for us to realize that our trials and our obstacles happen for a reason. Like, they happen with a purpose, and the lessons that we learn from them are helpful. They do help us move on and do help us grow and mature. You know what I'm saying? So I think that this card kind of symbolizes that. This card with the family symbolizes stability and comfort. The grass in the picture symbolizes fertility, and the river symbolizes emotional flow. And the rainbow symbolizes the end of difficult times and signs from the divine that everything will be okay. So I think that is super important. Upside down, this card represents disconnection, misaligned values, and struggling relationships. So I think that is a really big thing for me. I journal every morning, and my notebook renewed from Set and Soul, and I'm gonna take a picture of it. And I actually already have a picture on my Instagram, so definitely check it out. But in my renewed journal, it asks about like, what are some feelings that you're holding on to? And I think that my feelings of not having the strongest relationship with my family and friends really does bother me. Like, connection is super important to me, but I also have to admit, like, it requires you to call out, like, what are you doing to continue this feeling, and how are you working to stop this feeling? And I think that that's really what brought the accountability part today, because it's just like, I have a role to play, and I also could be trying to make this relationship stronger. You know what I'm saying? The last card was the Knight of Pentacles, and this card stands for consistency. And what stood out for me from this reading today was slow down. Come to rest and recognize that you are already at home. And I think that's so important, because a lot of people have been like hitting me up from my past, telling me like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Like, it's so exciting to see you kind of moving in your purpose. I always knew that you was going to come out on top. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, on top, like, dog, I'm struggling. Like, I look happy, and I think that this card really helps me to understand, like, you are in a good place. You know what I'm saying? Just because you don't feel like you're in a good place, it doesn't mean that you're not in a good place. And I think that it focuses on the importance of, acknowledging and like slowing down and peeping, like, okay, like, shit ain't all bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing pretty good. I'm accomplishing my goals, This card, I actually got it upside down, but the card itself represents patience and the willingness to work to achieve dreams, even if repetitive and dull. And I think that that's important, because A lot of the work, and this card represents consistency, like a lot of the work we do to make sure that we have a healthy lifestyle is not fun. Like, it's not the best. It's like, I wouldn't say boring. It's just like a challenge. It's like, I don't want to have to go and run. I don't want to have to lift 50 pounds over and over again and do 30 squats. Like, I'm not trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to unpack my childhood so that I can understand why I do the things I do in my adulthood. And a lot of the questions are repetitive, and a lot of the stuff is dull. It's like, this is not exciting. This is not bringing me joy. But with consistency, we're able to reach that point where we are in charge and we are living the life that we want to live, and we are able to control our thoughts and emotions and work them in a way that we are on top. Like, that mentality of being on top is in our everyday life just because of the way we think. And this card upside down stands for self-discipline, boredom, feeling stuck, and perfectionism. And I think that's so important. But because, like, one thing that I always pride myself on with my videos and like podcasts and everything is like, it's raw, it's unedited, because I'm not gonna be perfect, and I could literally dig and pull and switch and flip and change the background and edit out the skin blemishes and all that extra stuff, and it still ain't gonna be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Something's still gonna be off every time you look at it. Like, something is gonna be capable of change, and I think it's important to just not dwell on that. Like, let it go, you know? And I think I appreciate talking in spirit every day because it allows me to confront those things that I low-key am running away from. High-key, you know? Today's poem is Brown Skin, in honor of my beautiful brown skin. It says, I love the way you glow. I love the way you stand out in a room. I love the way the sun bounces off of you. I love the way you change in the seasons. I love the way you're in every creation. I love you always, regardless, no questions asked. I love you, my brown skin. And today's final quote comes from Octavia Butler, and it says, all that you touch, you change, and all that you change changes you. So remember that, y'all, and always move with grace. Have a good one.